Hey athletes, welcome to class. Let's get warm. So first thing we're gonna do, I love starting my warm-ups this way. We're gonna do 30 seconds of jumping jacks. So follow along. As you guys learn this warm-up, you guys can go and do it at your own pace. Maybe you want more time, less time, whatever. But it's always a good idea to get warm first. So let's begin. Doing jumping jacks. Now, I get bored really easily, so I always change up my jumping jacks. I'll do like ins and outs, right? My feet are going together and apart. Then I'll come up and down. I always am just moving things around. That way, I don't get bored. Because if I get bored, I do something else. Got about 12 seconds. Keep going. Yeah, I love jumping jacks, especially if you're warming up for an upper body day or a lower body day. It's just nice to have. So take a short break. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our hips down. We're gonna grab our shin. As we stand up, we'll pull our knee up, then we'll switch. We always come back to a nice athletic stance, nice crouched position. Keep doing this. The nice thing is this athletic stance, we can go any direction we want. And the direction we want to go right now is up. Still going. What I'm trying to do is pull that knee towards my armpit, crouch down, grab, stand, and pull. That's enough of those. Let's start some arm circles. Now I'm gonna do 30 seconds of just going backward, as should you. But what I like to do is about 15 or so seconds in, which is in 3, 2, 1. I like to go bigger. Even if you're warming up for a lower body day, your upper body still has to hold weight. It still has to be prepped. Your back still needs to be warm. So we'll come back to those in a moment. What we're gonna do is go back to our lower half. So I'm gonna grab my shin, gonna stand up, keeping my knees in line, and then I'll switch. This one, people may need to hold on to something, maybe a shelf, maybe a door, maybe a wall. Trying to pull that knee back as I sandwich that heel into my butt. The reason I like going back and forth between upper and lower is I'm just trying to warm up. I'm not trying to fatigue myself, right? I'm just trying to get warm. Let's go back to arm circles, going forward. I'd hate for you to do a minute of arm circles and then you can't do push-ups, right? That's no bueno, no good. Just keep going. Still cranking. A few more seconds and then we'll make some big ones. Again, this warms up not only your shoulders, but your back too, right? I'm keeping my arms in relatively behind me. I'm always trying to reach behind me. Big circles, still going. And we'll do another lower body thing. Again, I like going up and down, making sure that my whole body gets warm. Now this next one I'm gonna do at an angle. We're gonna kick our hips back and reach out. This is gonna light up our hamstrings. Then we'll touch our toes if possible. You might only be at your shins, but note, my knees are just very soft right now. Then I'll come back and I'll stand up. Out, down, up, stand. The reason I have my knees soft right now is I'm still warming up too, right? I'm not gonna force my hamstrings to be straight, right? We can work on that as the weeks go on, but again, sometimes forcing them straight isn't warming up. You're just doing damage. We wanna make sure we feel that. Come back up and stand one more time. Shoot it out. It's warming up your shoulders, it's warming up your hamstrings, but also, because we're doing inchworms next, and I'm gonna face the other way to do that, it gets our hamstrings a little bit more prepared. So I'm gonna face this way this time. So I'm gonna bend over. I'm gonna walk my hands out to plank, hold a nice good plank, then I'll push my heels down towards the floor as I come back up. So again, now we're trying to straighten those hamstrings. We're trying to further our mobility, and we do that by pushing our heels down. Keep going. We push our heels down, keeping our hips up. Still going. We'll do one more. I'll try to maybe face this way. And back. Pushing those heels down. Again, we do those to make sure that we're starting to warm up even further. Now what I want to do is we're going to take some time and we're going to do push-up practice. Now I want all of you to do this on your knees. We're just working on angles. We just want to find the perfect angle. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into plank first. And this goes for even if you're going to be doing them on your knees in the workout today, assuming your workout has push-ups, it may not. But we'll be in plank. Once we hit plank, then we just lightly drop our knees down. From here, we can start our push-ups. We want to keep our shoulders down, bend at the elbows, fall forward, taking our time, and then pushing ourselves up and away from the floor. So again, I'm looking down at the floor, not down at my hands. So I'm looking forward, falling forward, feeling my chest, and then pushing up and away from the floor. So rather than the tendency, which is to push back and away, something like this, we're trying to stay over our hands. And again, I'll do 5, maybe 8 reps. Since I'm talking to you, I'll only do 4 and we'll move on. But I'll do just a few reps to make sure that when I am going onto my toes, I'm ready to do full push-ups. All right, from here, we're gonna be in low plank. This is also gonna be great for your hips. We'll do this for about 30 seconds. So in our low plank, as always, keeping our shoulders over our elbows, I'm gonna step out with my ankle and bring my feet together. Then I'll switch sides. Step out with my ankle, so my heels are always facing the ceiling. The reason I like to do this too is it not only helps activate your core, but it's activating your hips and the sides of your hips that help you with keeping your knees open, especially when we do squats. And we're going to be doing squats here in a moment, so we want to make sure that our hips are nice and ready and that we feel it where we need to for when we do our squats. That's enough. Let's drop to our knees. I'm sure there'll be plenty of memes out there saying, oh, that's all Josh could do. Now, what we're going to be doing is right before we do squats, we're going to do something I like to call the world's greatest stretch. So I'll do it from a few angles. We're going to spend a whole minute doing it. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start in a lunge just so you can see what's going on. I place my hand on the floor right next to my foot. From here, I'm going to open up and rotate, keeping this front leg flat on the floor. Then I'll come down both hands. Then we'll step back into plank. We'll step the other foot through. That's our groiner action. Stepping back, stepping forward. So not only should a warm-up get you warm, but it should also improve on things that maybe are challenging for you. Some of you might be here, you might have to grab your leg and pull it in and open up. You might be, instead of putting your hand right next to your foot, you might be way off to the side to try to give you that. Now, if you want to advance this, we can reach, then we can have our hands on either side, and we can get a little bit more hamstring work in. Then we can come down and switch. So let's do that a couple times. Rotate, hands on either side, straighten that leg a little bit, back down. You can do multiple rotations. Instead of rotating towards your leg, you can rotate away from your leg. Whatever you want to do for your world's greatest stretch. But that was a full minute, a little bit more actually. Now let's work specifically on our squat. So again, our warm-up is not only to get us ready, but to prepare our bodies and maybe even find new positions that we can be in. So let's squat. Take us about a minute maybe. Now, when we squat, we need to make sure our feet stay flat the whole time. Tendency is as you squat, your feet are going to collapse and the outside parts of your feet are going to come up, the blades, or as you squat, your heels will come up and then you'll end up doing what we call crouching, okay? So, this warm-up, we have no egos. What we're trying to do is improve our body. So we're going to take some time and we're going to do the squats right. So what I'm going to do is take a good breath. I'm going to brace my belly. I'm going to put my hands out for balance. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend at the knees and the ankles as I push my hips back. I'm going to see where my squat is today. So this is about where I'm at. I might push my elbows into my knees, but I'm trying to hold that brace in my core and then stand up. You guys can go at whatever pace you want. There is no expectation of how fast or how many. Again, we're trying to improve our body. So I'm braced, I open, arms are out. You may not be this low. You might be right here, trying to get an inch lower, and that's totally fine. Do another few for me. And again, we can take this as far as we want. We could do things like squat, maybe place our hands on our toes, lift up, we can squat back down, and we can stand back up. Anything that you guys want to do in your warm-up, but we're gonna move on. So up next, we're gonna practice something that a lot of people have troubles with, single leg RDLs. So it's a great way to stretch your hamstring. And for those of you that are super mobile, this is just a warm-up. But for others, this is balance practice. If we put in this practice every day, eventually, if you aren't already, we'll be able to use weights to make it a little bit more challenging as we go. The only way you're gonna progress is if you practice. But it's not that practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So let's get perfect here. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna face away, look at my butt. We're gonna start on the right leg. I always start with my back leg on the floor so that I feel my hamstring first. So I'm gonna get into a split stance, one foot in front of the other. I'm gonna have a soft bend in my knee. I'm gonna push my hip back. As I tip over, feeling a good stretch, I'm gonna slide my hand down my shin. Once I touch the top of my foot, I'll be back up. I might do this 2-3 times to make sure I'm getting a good hamstring activation before I start playing around with lifting my foot up. So soft bend, it's the same concept. I'm gonna reach my hand, sliding it down. My left leg, which is the one in the air, is totally limp, but it's the same concept. I'm bending, I'm stretching. My chest is nice and high so that I get a good stretch, and stand. Let's switch sides. Same deal. I'll start with my back foot down, push my hip, really reach. Ooh, that's a good stretch. And stand. I don't want to hold these stretches for too long. Again, we're just getting warm. There's no need to rip our muscles apart. We can do that at a different day. Or you can do it at the end of your workout. I'm not a huge fan when it comes to stretching, mostly because I don't like it, okay? I used to teach yoga and I still hate it. Anyway, back foot is bent, soft knee, tipping over, but I make sure I do my mobility work before I work out. Sometimes in between exercise, if I have maybe a minute break or longer, I might do some extra exercise in between, because maybe if I'm squatting or something, maybe something isn't working the way I would like it to. Maybe my knees are caving, maybe I can't keep my feet flat, whatever. In between sets, I'll also work on some mobility work. That way I don't have to do long stretches because I'm literally using my workout to stretch my body as I move. Last thing, I love finishing with some more jumping jacks. So let's finish up doing some jumping jacks. About 30 seconds and you guys will be ready to rock. Whether it's an upper day, a lower day, a core day, a cardio day, or you're just doing this to warm up for your day because you know you're gonna be sitting at a desk all day. Maybe this is your lunch break, I don't care. It's only 10 minutes and you know what? Even our warm-ups can help us lose weight, get into better shape. I'm panting already, it's just jumping jacks, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy your workout, guys.